Understand the cognitive processes of language acquisition, it is important to mention Paul Broca, who found that a person who had damage to the front part of the left hemisphere had a result language loss. On the other hand, Carl Wernicke discovered another part of the brain where people who had a lesion at the posterior part of the left temporal lobe were able to speak. However, their speech was incoherent. So we can say that Broca's area is associated with speech production, and Wernicke's area is responsible for the understanding of language. Both their work was the base for others to study. The language loop involved many more areas of the brain, such as lateral sulcus, which separates the frontal and parietal lobes from the temporal lobe, and the arcuate fasciculus, which is a large collection of nerve fibers, and they connect Wernicke's area with the Broca's area. For the majority of people, language happens in the left hemisphere, and the specialization of the two halves of the brain is known as lateralization. Thank you.
Good evening, dear teacher and classmate. Today I'm talk to you about an interesting topic, cognitive learning processes. Our brain has a specialized region for handling different aspects of language. When we hear someone speak, our temporal lobe and primary auditory cortex process the sounds. This information is then sent to the Wernicke's area, where it's broken down into syllables, words, phrases, and eventually sentences. If we need to respond, Broca's series helps formulate our verbal response. For writing language, the process starts in the visual cortex of the occipital lobe. The angular gyrus coordinates this with language areas, ensuring we understand the text. This information is again interpreted in Wernicke's areas, with verbal response preparation happening in Broca's area, while visualization processes occur in the parietal areas. Learning a second language has many benefits. It can improve our cognitive abilities such as problem solving and memory, enhance our cultural awareness, and open up better career opportunities. That's so important that. Thank you for your attention. I hope this give you a better understanding of the complexities and benefits of learning a second language. Thank you, teacher and classmates.
A cordial greeting, teacher and classmate. My name is Dilda Sarko. I will talk about the role of age. It is a topic interesting in language learning and explain how the acquisition of a new language process represents and produces an L2. The children seem to learn new language relatively easily, such as a pronunciation, something younger students seem to have an advantage. And so other students learn vocabulary while be using cognitive skills. The regarding of effects of age and the acquisition of language, there are two models. One model is Fell's competition. It states that the language-specific cognitive system still exists and complete with the problem-solving cognitive system and the acquisition process. Two, uh, two is Blair-Broman fundamental difference hypothesis. He maintains that the cognitive system stops functioning and the process is a cooperation between the mother tongue and the cognitive problem solving system. Thank you.
The critical period hypothesis was created by Eric Lunenburg on in 1860s of the past century, and it says that the earlier students start learning any language, the better is the results. For example, the critical period is from 4 years old and continue to 11 or 12 years old. After that, the learning process is difficult. Is more difficult than the critical period because there are some psychological barriers.
Good evening, teacher. My name is Gabby, and I'm going to talk about the individual learners, difference, sex, and motivation. For the first part, we have sex and learning. Abilities that women tend to have better verbal skills, and men excel in math and special skills. And the learning styles, women prefer collaborative styles and attention to detail, and men prefer competitive styles and a broader vision. In social cultural influence, the cultural expectation affect academic development, the growth in arts and humanities, and the boys in science and math. And we have the motivation in the part 2 and learning. Intrinsic, based on personal interest and the pleasure of learning, leads to greater persistence and deep learning. And the extrinsic is based on external rewards or avoiding punishment, effective in the short term but not too deep. And the influencing factors, we have the relevance of content, positive teacher-student relationship, and a safe learning environment increase motivation. And we have the last one is interaction between sex and motivation. And the one is self-efficacy, that women high in verbal skills, and men high in math and special skills, and the gender stereotypes that can affect motivation and academic performance. What is the conclusion of this topic? That we have to understand this difference because it's the key to effective educational strategies, improving students' outcomes and well-being. Thank you, teacher.